Do I dare to serve the universe? This is the ironic question of the love song of J. Alfred Proofrock by T.S. Eliot. I first read this poem in high school, and in many ways, it changed my outlook on the world. I could both identify with the main character, J. Alfred Proofrock, and admire the sheer brilliance of Eliot's control of the English language. The character he created through his brilliance is a complex man, full of high ideas and primal impulses. He wants desperately to break out of the social mold he is shaped in, but he cannot act. The main character suffers from three character traits that cause him to defeat himself throughout the poem. Firstly, the love song of J. Alfred Proofrock is the story of a man lost in his own insecurity. The poem lives inside his head as he walks through the streets, when the evening is spread out against the sky, like a patient etherized upon a table. Suddenly there is a transition into a social scene, some high society function. Proofrock is clearly intimidated and indecisive in the face of this event. He imagines what people are saying about him as he enters the party, focusing on his own insecurities. The eyes that fix you in a formulated phrase, and when I am formulated, sprawling on a pin. When I am pinned and wriggling on a wall, then how should I begin? To spit out the butt ends of my days and my ways. And how should I presume? He feels trapped, caught in a cage built by his own fears, pinned like an insect by the judgment of others. Secondly, because of his insecurity, Proofrock has another vice, inaction. For I've known them already, known them all, have known the evenings, mornings, and afternoons. I have measured out my life with coffee spoons. Proofrock knows he has done nothing to prove his worth in his life, proving again his own insecurity. There will be time to prepare a face to meet the faces that you meet. There will be time to murder and create, a time for all the works and days of hands that lift and drop a question on your plate, time for you and time for me, and time yet for 100 indecisions, and for 100 revisions and revisions for the taking of toast and tea. Proofrock is caught in time, caught by his own indecisions, visions, and revisions so that a minute will reverse. Proofrock's ground state is one of inertia, constantly wavering between one idea and another. He has grand ideas. He wants to be elevated, a superior version of himself, and forget about petty worries. He wants to break the cycle of empty teas and false galas, but, as he puts it, I've seen the moment of my greatness flicker, and I've seen the eternal footman hold my coat and snicker. In short, I was afraid. Finally, despite his insecurity, Proofrock is just as self-centered as every one of the people at this party. These people he wants the approval of and wants to rebel against at the same time. We all think we are important, and Proofrock is no exception. He was somewhat aware of this, and negates his aspirations towards being a leading man in his own life with these words. No, I am not Prince Hamlet, nor was I meant to be. I am an attendant lord, one that will do to swell a progress, start a scene or two, advise the prince, no doubt, an easy tool, deferential, glad to be of use, politic, cautious, and meticulous, full of high sentence, but a bit obtuse, at times indeed almost ridiculous, almost at times the fool. Eliot's poem holds a mirror up to all of our faces, pointing out that we live in cocoons of our own making to protect us against the world. Proofrock witnesses that this in the people that he observes, who ignore the thick, tangible fog that rubs its back upon the window panes like a cat, the streets that follow like a tedious argument of insidious intent that is just outside. The setting out in the streets is ominous, but it is also real, concrete, unlike the whirling flash of colors and fleeting impressions that are used to describe the event that he attends. This poem was written during the height of the Great War, the destructor of the ideals of a whole generation. The whole world seemed to be up in arms during this time, and yet Eliot focuses on no soldier, but a man fighting with his own conscience, an existential warrior. At the end of the poem, Proofrock seals his own fate by acknowledging all of his previous thoughts as fantasy, saying that he has lingered in the chambers of the sea, by seagulls wreathed in seaweed red and brown, till human voices wake us and we drown. Thank you.